to the John and Joe Sports Show. I'm John.
And I'm Joe.
You all right?
We look so far away.
Very far away. Yes, we are.
There we go. Hey, everyone. How's it going?
All right. So you're listening to us at 99.5 DSR Scranton and watching us in your dormitories on Channel 9 if it's Tuesday. If it's Wednesday, you may be watching us on Channel 21 if you have Comcast cable. Hopefully you followed that. It's difficult sometimes.
It is difficult, yeah. I don't even...
Like Padre Pio, we were two places at once. It's impressive. Hopefully they'll canonize us eventually as well.
That'd be
Just say
fantastic.
John and Joe.
I don't know how they can't.
Well, I know.
We are saints.
We're not.
Aw, come on.
So, Joe.
John.
A lot of the people in the studio today, we'd like to thank. This is our last show of the semester. There's more people in here now than I think have been in the studio the entire year.
Yes, I agree.
Which is awesome.
That's definitely it. This is wonderful.
So kudos to them. They're going to be yelling things that you probably can't hear because the mics are probably can only pick us up. But we were chastised to talk about hockey.
Yep, by all of them.
Every person in here ripped us. Because they asked, what do you talk about? And we said, baseball, basketball, football, just no NASCAR, golf, or hockey. And then they flipped the cameras over and kicked down the table, and we flipped over the couch. So we had to hurry up and get everything back together real quick.
I got hit in the head.
Yeah.
Look at that.
We had to fend them off with these
these things that keep the wrinkles out of the couch, apparently. I don't know how that works.
Didn't help.
But no.
So to get started on hockey, I honestly couldn't tell you anything that happened, except that the Flyers lost. They got swept. That's
Flyers
pretty funny.
lost. That is.
To some. To others, it's bad.
Not at all. Not at all.
But that's honestly it. And as for another sport as well, soccer. I watched soccer yesterday on the Soccer Network. I didn't know there was a soccer network, but there's a channel that just shows soccer. All day. I watched more soccer yesterday than I have my entire life.
Why, John?
It's not like I hate soccer, but it's just, I don't know.
See, I think for some sports you have to be there.
I think so. That's one of them.
Hockey, if you're there, I'm loving it. If I'm watching on TV, I can't get into it.
I wish we had a vuvuzela in the studio so we could just blow it at random times. Or our audience could blow it. So it would be like we were at the World Cup and there's just a swarm of bees around our show. Unfortunately, we came unprepared and don't have vuvuzelas.
I didn't realize there'd be all these people here.
No, they're never
We would have been prepared.
But
usually there's one person sitting in a chair texting.
Yes. Now there's 6 texting.
Yeah. so yeah.
It's a little bit better than one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But we might as well get to the sports.
Should we?
Well, these people are going to think we just talk about nothing for 2 hours. We don't want to.
But we're not going to talk about hockey. They're not going to be happy.
We could have them talk about hockey later.
Bring them in. All right.
Bring them in. Bring them up.
Bring them up. Whatever.
I could read about the hockey, but I couldn't give any insight. Is Wayne Gretzky still in the league? No. Mark Messier? Mario Lemieux? That's my extent. Brett Hull? No, they're all gone. Should we slick back our hair like Barry Melrose and talk about hockey?
I know the Mighty Ducks.
Knuckle puck?
Yeah. Gordon Bombay.
Yeah. We should have him come in.
Let's bring in Emilio Estevez.
Yeah. He's probably not doing anything.
No.
He hasn't done anything for years.
No, he hasn't.
It's unfortunate. We could have Keenan come in and show us how to shoot a knuckle puck.
That would be awesome.
I don't think he'll do it. But
he probably actually can't, unfortunately.
Because it was fake.
Yeah.
Which he said in person when I saw him at Marywood.
Did he really?
Yeah, he's like, that was the most ridiculous shot ever conceived. But people ask me all the time, can you shoot your knuckle puck? No. Anyway, 570-212-9877. If any of you are listening on the radio or online and it's Tuesday, text us. Let us know what you want to talk about. We've obviously said that we can't help you with any hockey, so if you would like to tell us any hockey things, please do. That means everyone in the studio texting right now is going to start texting us hockey things. But it's whatever. It's fine. It's cool. So we know nothing about it at all. Nothing.
Remember our one great question that we had that we were supposed to talk about?
No.
Just said Gerald Wallace.
Yeah, you're right.
That was it. Yeah.
Gerald Wallace.
So don't send names.
Yeah, you have
Just
to give us
give
a
us
question
something.
or a topic or you guys suck. We'll fix it.
Something. Yeah, we'll fix it. Yeah.
Anyway,
Be good.
I guess we'll talk about the NBA because that's happening
Yeah.
as well as
Yeah.
hockey.
Yeah.
And granted, we're only in the second round.
And it's May.
And it's May, and
Yeah.
they've been doing the playoffs since
Mid-April. Mm-hmm. It's almost mid-May.
And they won't be done until June-ish,
Yep. Mid to late June.
but that's fine.
Well, it's fine by me.
It's not fine. I don't like it. End it, please. Stop.
It is too long.
It's too long.
It is too long.
I have things. I have to catch up on hockey.
Apparently.
Everything about it.
Yeah.
That's going to take a while. I hope. Is there a hockey network? Does anybody know? There's a hockey network too. There's every network.
Versus.
Versus.
There you go.
I didn't know Versus was a channel since MSG got off
Right.
of there.
Yeah.
Like, what is VS? Apparently that's hockey. I'll have to get into that.
You'll have to. Yeah.
Try it out for size. I don't know where. I'm trying to get to that cool playoff screen. You know the one I'm talking about?
Yes.
All of the stuff.
Yes. Go under NBA.
Yeah.
And where is it? There it is. Yeah. Playoffs. Playoffs. Right there.
Right there.
Right there. You got it.
Yeah. Moving on. So you want to start with last night's games, the thrillers?
Sure, we can start with the thrillers. If you would
Okay.
like.
Well,
Let's
yeah.
do that.
Well, the Heat won.
And now let's talk about them for another hour and 45 minutes.
Like every other network.
Yes. Absolutely.
Because we're just conformed to everything here on the John and Joe Sports Show.
We're not going to do it.
No. I was disappointed. And here's where eventually we'll get into this argument of the Heat and the Celtics and all of that, but not yet. Last night, though, 98-90, the Heat edge out the Celtics in overtime, led by the King,
James.
Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. That's the big three, you know that, right?
Obviously, yeah.
No, that's a Bible reference. We do that from time to time. People get their mind blown. LeBron James, 35 points, 14 rebounds. Paul Pierce, 27 points, 8 rebounds. Shout out to Rondo for playing with a dislocated elbow. Because they wouldn't stop talking about it for the first quarter of the game, which I happened to see. Every time he touched the ball, watch how he only dribbles with his right hand. We get it. Yeah, great, wonderful.
Yeah, you could see it. I mean, even it was just funny in Game 3 to watch him, and he poked the one steal with his left hand, and then all of a sudden it went back to his side like it was dead.
That was it.
It was
He
just
dunked the ball in Game 3.
Yeah.
I've never seen him dunk. He dislocates his elbow. Now he could throw it down. Why don't you do that when you're healthy? He throws up these wild finger rolls.
Oh, he has amazing dunks. You should go to YouTube.
Oh, I've seen.
He's had some
seen
nice
his dunks.
dunks
Just not
for
this
how
year.
small
It's
he
been-
is.
It's been this year hasn't been exciting Rondo dunkish
Yeah.
here.
I got you.
But apparently, Paul Pierce tries to win the game at the end of regulation, and he missed.
He
And
missed.
then LeBron took over.
Yeah, what happened was, I'm surprised on the last shot. Paul Pierce always goes to the right elbow.
Yes, every
and
time.
knocks down a J. He decides to go left, and then shoots this fadeaway bank shot.
A la Tim Duncan,
Yeah,
who's
exactly.
home watching.
Yep.
Maybe he texted him, tweeted him during the game, was like, Paul, do my shot.
It
And he did. And it
did.
didn't work.
It didn't work. It did not work. Before it, and I was talking to Mike beforehand. It was all set up for LeBron James to blow it
Yeah.
at the end of the game. He threw a pass. It was stolen. They were going to get the last shots. They were supposed to nail it, and then LeBron James would be blamed for the entire thing. It was beautiful, but they did not.
History
Didn't happen.
did not work as well as we had hoped.
No.
unfortunately.
Actually, I am happy that the Heat are winning this series.
I'm not.
Which we will get to that debate. But
I really can't say anything more about the game. I didn't watch the game at all. So this is like the problem of the NBA playoffs. They're so long that I'm really into the first round, and then the second and third round is just kind of like I could just go outside and live my life instead of watching these games. So I do, and then the finals come and you're back. So this is kind of at that point where you just don't care at all because there's so much more basketball left. I'm going to be all basketballed out by the time the finals come. I don't want that to happen.
okay,
Yeah.
I got you. That's
And I couldn't watch the game, so.
All right, I got you.
Just getting too old to keep up.
Pierce getting too old to keep up. The Celtics are getting old.
They are.
That is true. I really think that. I think they're done. I think they're done right now. They're going to be going back to Miami. They're down 3-1, but I really think this team would have had another run had they not gotten rid of Perkins.
I agree.
I don't get it. I know we say that all the time, but I mean, when you have Shaq coming in for like a minute and getting 2 fouls, like you have Big Baby, like who's your center? They don't have a center.
No.
They don't have anybody.
O'Neal is past his prime as well.
Yeah.
All of the players on the Celtics besides Rondo are past their prime. They're on the decline. I mean, that's not to say they're terrible, but they're definitely on the decline.
Yeah.
And it's interesting these next couple of years in the NBA, watching the old dynasties start to fall. And we saw it first with the Spurs just get manhandled, basically. We're seeing it with the Celtics. We saw it with the Lakers. Not to really say that they're all old, per se, but
Right.
in that sense, the younger teams in the league are the ones left, except for except for the Celtics, who are probably going to lose the series.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
they're going to lose. But I mean, to answer the question, I mean, is Paul Pierce too old? I wouldn't say this year. He's still putting up the numbers. I mean, I don't think they were too old. I mean, they had the 1 seed halfway through the season, and then they just kind of collapsed like they always do. They just kind of cruise into the playoffs. But Perkins is really a key element to them, and they just threw him away. I don't know why. I still don't know why, but they really needed him. I don't think it's necessarily that the Celtics were too old. I mean, I don't want to say they're done, but I think they're done, barring 3 straight victories. 2 would have to be in Miami.
I think it was just a bad decision to get rid of Perkins when you're not getting that much better of players in return.
Mm-hmm.
That there was really no need for the switch. I mean, why fix what's not broken?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I mean, like Perkins isn't great.
No, he's not.
He's not great.
And it looks like his face got hit with a shovel.
Exactly.
Repeatedly as a child.
Yes, but he's a big guy.
He is.
He's a body. I mean, he's a good defender. He's a tough guy down low. That's it. I really think they needed that, and especially against Miami, who's void of a big man.
Exactly. They have no one.
And
Chris Bosh is the most fragile player I think you'll ever meet. I think if we were to ever meet him like later in life when we become rich and famous and shake his hand, it'll break. Chris!
I believe that.
Why? Sorry, dude. I didn't realize.
Or his skin will shed and we'll see that he actually is a raptor. That's right. Doesn't he look like a raptor? I think he looks like a raptor.
Is that because he played for the
I think
Raptors?
it was fitting that he played for the Raptors. See, we're getting a thumbs up.
Yeah, he kind of does.
That's why I thought it was fitting that he played for the Raptors, because he looks like a raptor.
He does.
Yeah, like a...
It's been weird to watch this series because Paul Pierce, except for last night, him being the leading scorer, it was basically Ray Allen kind of taking the spotlight this series. You usually don't see that. It's usually him. You know, Paul Pierce hitting the big 3 and then cursing at someone's face on the opponent's team and, you know, knocking the layup and the dunk and then screaming and hitting his chest like they all do when they score. I don't understand why you do this after you score. Like, this hurts.
I don't understand why you would drool after you
That's true.
did something well as well. But Big
Thankfully,
Baby,
we haven't seen that yet. Big
that
Baby.
is good.
I don't think he scored the whole playoff.
Probably not.
I don't know if
Probably
the
not.
Celtics thought that Shaq was 5 years younger, but they should have realized that he's not, and his
Right.
body is starting to take a toll. He can't do what he used to do anymore. He's still a large man, but he got 2 fouls within like a minute.
Yeah.
Then
Exactly.
he's out of the game. Like, what are you gonna do with that?
Yeah.
So I think that was definitely a mistake. As far as their age, I think this was one of the last years where they could have made a run
Yeah,
for the championship.
exactly.
And since it doesn't look like they're going to do it, that's not good for them.
For them. Yep.
Granted, I'm not writing them off quite yet. Again, if there was a team to collapse, I would love for it to be the Heat. And I think the Celtics are definitely capable of winning 3 games.
They are. It would
But
be tough. It would be
It's
tough.
going to be really tough, especially going back to Miami.
Exactly.
Now, like we mentioned before, we're both Lakers fans, which means as Lakers fans, we have to hate the Celtics. And it's not so
Naturally.
much we have to, it just kind of happens naturally, you know? It's like men are attracted to women, vice versa. You just don't like your rival team.
True. Very true.
So you would think, would be rooting against the Celtics regardless because of the Celtics. However, I am pulling for them to beat at least the Heat in this series because I just cannot stand the Heat. And it stems from, when they won the finals in 2003, I was so happy for Dwayne Wade and Shaq. It was
They
good
won
for
in
you.
2006.
2006. So happy. Where did I get 2003 from?
I don't know.
That's fine.
That's fine.
2006.
Spurs won it then if you needed.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
David Robinson. We should have cut our hair like David Robinson. Flat top. Anyway, they won and it was great. But then, and I've never disliked the Heat. You know, I didn't like hate them. Oh,
Right.
the Heat.
Right.
But that was until this whole debacle this year with just the arrogance that they started to get upon themselves and the decision and having a big concert for 3 of your players to just walk out in your uniform and fireworks going off like we're at a wrestling match and theme music and candy and bread and circus games. People, why? Now there's just this chip that they all have that they are the best, and they haven't even proved anything yet. They're the best no matter what, though, and they're going to win 18 straight championships. I can't stand it. I want the Celtics to beat them. I don't want to see the Heat have success for at least a couple more years. You can't, deny them that they're going to win a couple championships. If they don't, that's pathetic. But not this year already. Lord. Good point.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I would prefer the Heat to beat the Celtics because I'm a true Lakers fan. And that's it. No, I'll explain further. The Lakers are 1 championship behind the Celtics in all-time NBA championships. So I don't want them to get 2 behind them again. I've been closing the gap. I don't want it to increase. So I want the Heat to beat the Celtics for that. I mean, I just don't like the Celtics. I hate the Celtics way too much to root for them against the Heat. As much as I don't like the Heat either, I don't want the Celtics to win just because I'm a Laker fan. I can't really say much else. It's like rooting for the Red Sox over a super team in baseball if you're a Yankee fan. I don't get it. No. Of the series?
Or everything.
Or everything? Everything?
I guess we'll get to everything shortly.
We could get to everything.
Once we go through the
Yeah,
series.
we will get there.
Like the championship thing is nice, but it doesn't really bother me because 10 years back it was huge. And then when you 3-peat and then 2-peat, Kind of knocks it down a little bit. And I don't see the Celtics winning the championship for a while now. Like, they have a couple more years, and then what's going to happen to them once all those guys leave? There's going to be Rondo!
It's going to happen to the Lakers.
We'll get another superstar.
Kobe's getting up there. I'm just saying.
We'll talk about the Lakers.
We will talk about the Lakers. We'll get there.
After a PSA break. How's that? So, if you want to text us, if you are listening to us on the radio, or let's put it this way. If it's Tuesday and you're hearing our voice or seeing us live, 212-9877, area code 570 for all of you in Cleveland mourning the loss of LeBron. Text us something about what you'd like us to talk about, comments, questions, concerns, complaints, and we will address them on the show. If it's Wednesday and you're watching us on Comcast, Channel 21, we can't help you. You're a little late. It's all good, though. Enjoy. We'll be back after this quick break. You're listening to John and Joe Sports Show on 99.5 WSR Scranton and the Royal Television Network. We will return shortly.
belong in here, belongs in there.
You guys wanna shoot some hoops?
Yeah, sure, man.
Oh, I got pray like a young man.
Turn off all your electronics. It's the easiest way to conserve energy.
Back on the John and Joe Sports Show, 99.5 WSR Scranton, and the Royal Television Network. I'm John.
Joe.
That's it.
That's all we got.
Okay, we just spoke to you about the Heat, and unfortunately, we won't be talking about them anymore. That is sad, I'm aware. However, we will move on to the other teams that are playing in the playoffs. And the other game last night, the Thunder. Wish we had something. Yeah,
How was
and
that?
the Memphis Grizzlies.
There we
There
go. We got it.
Nice.
All right.
And yes, the Grizzlies are in the playoffs. And they're a team. Thankfully, PETA hasn't been offended that the Grizzlies are a team name. You know how everybody's up in arms when you name your team like the Braves or the Redskins.
That's true. Yes. Yeah.
Grizzlies.
Yeah. Mhm.
And the Mavericks. Get them out. We cannot have this. The Spurs, medal makers everywhere, will be angry Cowboys will not be pleased. That has nothing to do with the series. Anyway, last night, triple overtime. I guess I should only put one up because that would be 6. Triple overtime, thriller. Thunder win by 10, 133, 123. You know who showed up last night for the Thunder? Kevin Durant. It's been a while.
Who's that?
He had 35 points. Brian Westbrook had 40 points. Zach Randolph had 34 and 16 boards. He also had 10 rebounds. I don't know what the boards were now. He had 16 boards, rebounds. What'd you think? Was it epic?
It's pretty epic.
Because if you're a fan of Nike on Facebook, at the end of all the games, they put up these like cool-looking pictures and then put like a couple of words and then pretend they're on Twitter and say epic.
I can never say that something like that is epic, though. After watching a 6 overtime game between Syracuse and UConn, freshman year, whatever year that was.
I was on the radio for that entire game. I missed it.
Yeah, it was epic. I'm seeing like these stats. It's like, oh, this game is epic. I can't say it's epic because I've seen twice that.
Yeah, like
6.
Do overtimes make a game epic if they just kind of end? Like, there's been overtimes that I've seen that go into triple overtime with these, like, half-court shots that people make.
Yeah.
Like, those are epic games. If it's just like there's a 30 seconds left and you just miss over and over and over again,
yeah,
it's more or less like, ooh, that's unfortunate.
That's true.
7 overtimes.
Wow, a 3rd grade?
Wow.
Wow.
Final score about 50 to 47.
That's epic.
7 overtimes in 3rd grade. I don't know if people weren't dying.
Yeah. Like,
Wow.
Can you imagine parents?
Okay, yeah. Another overtime.
My shows are on.
Maybe they'll score in this overtime. Man.
It was interesting. The Grizzlies had a lot of chances at the end of regulation and just came up empty on some missed layups and missed tip-ins, and that happens. And whenever there's games like this, you always revert back to that 1 or 2 plays where you just go,
Right.
come on, make it.
Yeah, truth is Memphis had this game
Several-
way back when they came out, and they were up like 17, maybe 20, around that area, right in the beginning of the game. But they proved the stereotypical NBA correct, as the 4th quarter is the only one that matters. And Thunder came in, they chewed away, clawed back in, and went into 3 overtimes. But yeah, this game should have been over. This was really Memphis's game to take. So they had this series if they won this game, and they really blew it. That's it.
And this is, again, the thing of why I don't really like this series, because I still don't know what to think about the Thunder or the Grizzlies. You don't know if they're for real or not, if they can make a run at the title, or if they're just here.
Right.
And they're both playing each other, and you feel like whoever ends up winning this, after we're done shaking our heads and going, oh my God, please, someone put the series away.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling that they're just going to get destroyed in the next round.
It's definitely possible. I mean, I'm looking at Oklahoma City, and going into the playoffs, I was thinking this young up and coming team. People even picked them to win the finals, which they still can. Not saying they can't.
People also pick the Blue Jays and Orioles to win the World Series every preseason.
It's true.
That's gone well for them for the past 13, 14 years.
But this team, as you see in the playoffs, they're Westbrook and Durant. And that's it. I mean, they have younger guys around them. They have decent players, but I mean, it's Westbrook and it's Durant. They do have James Harden, but that's it. It's Westbrook and it's Durant.
Hey guys.
Hello.
What's up?
Oh.
Nothing. I got out of class early.
Oh, sweet. Cool.
I'm Nina. I'm associate producer. Nice to meet you.
We can do this.
She comes out.
Are we doing this during the show?
We're doing it right now.
We're doing introductions during the show. All right.
Every show
So-
she comes out bangs through the door, announces her presence. Now she's announcing it.
Yeah.
She
So
doesn't even know we're talking on the
yeah,
air.
we're on air right now, but
It's all good.
yeah. So getting back to my point, Oklahoma City has Durant and Westbrook, and that's it. And if they're off, Oklahoma City's off.
What did Vince Carter say?
Yeah, that was it. It's over. Like
No.
something.
Again,
Go.
they can win if they play very well.
Yep.
But this is the same problem that the Bulls are running into. They only have one good player. In this case, there's two.
Right.
But it's unfortunate. And Durant took over overtime. He went off, especially in the last overtime. That's why the Thunder ended up winning by 10.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't show up, then Westbrook's going to think that he has to do everything, and he's a point guard. So they're going to run into problems. And as for the Grizzlies, I've only seen anything spectacular from Zach Randolph, and that's it. Paul Gasol's brother, because I never call him his name, I'd never remember it. He's just he's their big man. He's like the Zilgauskas of the Cavs. Ilgauskas. You know, he's just out there. He's a body. He's the Craig Forth of.
I would not Craig Forth Mark Gasol.
Well, he's in the NBA.
Come
so
on.
We can't. You're right.
Come on. Yeah.
A better
No,
version of Craig Forth. Yeah. Let's not throw stones at him that hard.
But I don't know. The Grizzlies are a bunch of young guys, and they remind me of the Thunder last year when they just came out of nowhere and almost took they pushed the Lakers to 6 games in the first round. So the Grizzlies are obviously doing better this season than the Thunder did last season. But I don't know. It's tough to say who's going to win, who's going to bring it from game to game. I feel that Westbrook tries to do too much sometimes for the Thunder. I think he tries to take the game over, and I don't think he realizes that he's the second best player on that team.
If you ever told that to him, he'd shoot you.
Probably.
And everyone's standing around just because.
So I don't know. I think the team has trouble there. They combined for 75 points. That's something like the Big Three does.
Yeah.
And granted, there were 3 overtimes to get it, but I don't know. They're just a few plays. At the end of the second overtime, Russell Westbrook came down, just kept crossing over, and he did one crossover, and Tony Allen lost his balance, and he gets to about not even the elbow, and he pulls up with like 2 seconds left. He could have gone a little farther and maybe gotten an easier shot. And then as he's shooting, he leans forward instead of just going up with a jump shot. And he misses. He's off balance. But he had an open shot. So I don't understand why he was doing that. But just things like that. Just stick with the fundamentals. I don't know. I think Westbrook tries to do too much, is basically my point.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then Durant, I think, just gets his head taken out of the game, and he can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
He gets angry. I don't know what it is, but I'm not a fan of either of these teams. I would like to see them be successful. I think it's unfortunate for both programs that they're playing each other.
Yeah.
So they kind of play to their level. Like, there's not really an underdog type feel to the series where it was when the Thunder played the Lakers, or it would be if the Grizzlies are playing somebody else. Like, we have nothing to lose. Let's go out and win. You know, either team they win, it's like, oh, well, you were only playing the Thunder, or you were only playing the Grizzlies. Big deal. Beat somebody that matters. I don't think this series is going to get... What I mean is, I don't think this series is going to get them ready for Dallas.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's it. I think... I mean, Dallas is on a tear right now. I mean, we can get to that, but I think you're right there. I don't think this series is going to prepare either of them for the next round. I think Dallas will cause matchup problems all over the place for both sides. So I don't know what's going to happen there. It'll be interesting to see Game 3. This was the game the Grizzlies really needed. Now I think the series swings in favor of the Thunder with 2 home games left. They definitely have to take Game 5.
I think the Thunder win the series.
I think the Thunder come back and win the series.
Just because, let's just put this into perspective. The Thunder have 2 go-to guys. The Grizzlies only have 1.
Yeah, and this is a tough loss,
Hurts.
too. Like, yeah, it hurts. It hurts to go through 3 overtimes and then lose.
At home.
Yeah.
You don't do that, especially at home.
That's.
Don't blow leads and do not lose these types of games at home.
Yeah.
The fans probably won't sleep for weeks.
Exactly. I don't know about that. They
Seen
made
it
you
happen.
die,
Seen it happen.
but yeah.
You ever been to Seattle? I
No.
knew this one kid, he never slept. He used to watch me sleep. I didn't know why. Wasn't a
I see where
vampire,
you're
he just
going.
had a
though.
problem.
Oh, just had. Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's some mental thing.
All
you
right.
know. He didn't live very long. It's unfortunate. 2 weeks.
Does it?
2 weeks.
Man.
As a good segue to that, we'll move on to the Dallas Lakers series. Now that we just scared away half the people that there's these 2-week living people that don't sleep. We'll play a PSA for it later. Do you or your friends know anyone who can't sleep? Have you known them for less than 2 weeks?
You should probably move on to the
Yeah.
series.
Anyway, going into Game 4, the Lakers down. Oh my God. I'm on camera
You're
3.
camera 3.
Hold on.
Let me get the elbow out of the
Yikes.
shot.
Really no need to over-exaggerate that. It's just a lot of fun. Anyway, 3 games down, the Lakers coming in to Game 4. They need to win. They're nonchalant. Wow, that's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate.
They're nonchalant about the series like they are about every game they've ever played. They don't have any pressure. They've done this before. Yeah. Mavericks won 122-86. Close one, indeed. Jason Terry had 9 threes in one game. Who is Jason Terry, you ask? Me too. I don't understand this.
Sit back on.
Beautiful. Yeah, the game. See, I was happy that I had work, so I didn't have to watch the Lakers' demise. I didn't have a good feeling about the game, but I assumed that they'd win 1 because they beat the Mavericks before. This isn't the first time. So I'm coming out of work and I'm getting these texts of, wow, I can't believe that just happened, and what a jerk, and other things. I'm like, what happened? And then a couple minutes later, can you believe he did that too? What is happening? Turns out Lamar Odom and Andrew Bynum both got ejected from the game for cheap shotting their players.
Wait.
Oh, there's nothing on there.
Oh, man. All right.
Welcome to our guest.
Guest.
But anyway, no one knows what that means. I don't know why we say that. The Lakers just got manhandled by the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks ran all over them as a Maverick would run over a Laker in real life. Embarrassing. The entire series was just an embarrassment to fans of LA, Magic Johnson, his children, his relatives, and other players of the Lakers.
Absolutely.
It was hard to say
It
that
was
I'm a
bad.
Lakers fan. This was just bad. But again, I'm glad it's over. Thank God. End it. And you know what? Another game where it's like, oh, if we did this, we would have won. No, they got destroyed. It was beautiful. Way to go out. Lose by 40.
That's how it's done. Yep.
It's a lot better on the heartstrings.
Yeah.
So since you have said that you are a diehard Lakers fan, why don't you tell us what your thoughts were on the series as we read through who's ever emailed this is.
Yeah. They should have won game 1. They should have won game 3. But they didn't.
No.
The series should still be going on right now. They should be playing tonight. Should be tied 2-2. But for some reason, they couldn't close out games. I think it's incredible that we could hear the production room out here. There's soundproof walls.
Nina is the loudest individual at
I
the
kn-
University of Scranton. She knows everyone, and it's not because they've spoken. It's because she's been heard.
So anyway,
But I
I'm
agree.
sorry. Yes, it just threw me off. It threw me off because I could hear everybody. So what were we talking about? The Lakers?
Yeah, something
Right,
like that.
the Lakers. Knicks series should have been closer. Chances next year. Knicks series shouldn't have been closer. The Boston's so much better than them. All right, that's the that's the end of that. All right, good. So
The Knicks
Okay.
need help,
Knicks need help.
as in team chemistry, and they need a couple more guys to go to instead of the egos are so big on the Knicks.
I know.
Carmelo's ego is huge. Like,
Are you really denying that? Are you really? Wow.
I will say that he doesn't play defense.
he doesn't.
Carmelo doesn't pass.
He doesn't pass.
Car-
If the Knicks didn't have Chauncey Billups, oh my God, it would have been terrible.
I don't know, the Knicks played better when they had the team they gave
did.
to the
They
Nuggets.
did. You
Yeah.
have to agree with that. That's true.
$100? I'll take the bet. I hope I could find you because I've never seen you before to collect next year because I have no idea who you are.
Or just run
But-
around campus.
Who's the Nets fan?
Every sports show will just
Find me?
lead with
That'd
that,
be cool.
and hopefully he'll be watching.
All right, that'll be good. So, yes, Carmelo Anthony, big ego, doesn't pass. The only time he passed is when he was falling out of bounds, and he needed to, or else it'd be a turnover. So, they need something else. They need something else, and Carmelo can't just be. They can't just give it to him and he does something, because that's what it became. The team game was gone. The team that they had, it was just gone. And you saw that the Nuggets thrived with the team they gave away.
I don't know.
Like,
I never
don't know.
expected that the Knicks would have been better with what they had, and worse when they gave it away. Of course, I didn't think that they would give so much away for so little.
yeah,
But
I
they just need time.
Exactly.
They need a couple more people
Exactly.
with who they have, and I think they'll be fine. They
Yeah.
just need to find those people. They can't stick with what they have now. They just need a couple more guys to go to.
right.
Could hit a shot. That could be a Steve Kerr, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, give them time. They do need time to build some team chemistry.
Chris Paul's going to LA. Sorry.
Yeah, the Lakers are getting Chris Paul, Dwight Howard.
All of them. They're just going to
Yeah,
come to
they'll-
Los
yeah,
Angeles.
they'll be
Karl
fine.
Malone,
Gar-
Gary Payton. They're coming back.
So, where were we
You're on the
before?
Lakers.
I was on the Lakers.
Yeah. Why they lost?
It was embarrassing. Like
bad.
in game 2, they shot 2 for 20 from 3-point range.
It was bad. They were 0
was
for
just-
15. so
Yeah,
they made
exactly. Yeah, the 2 they made were meaningless.
one. Yes.
So
Like they couldn't buy a 3.
the
Or a
things that were their weaknesses came out in this series. The things we've been saying when they were back-to-back champions, we were like, well, they still need this. They still need this. They were exploited.
Yeah.
They were gone. They don't have a pure three-point shooter. They turn it on and off all the time. They don't have a fast young point guard. Derek Fisher is not going to do it anymore.
Not anymore.
Sorry, he
I don't
can't
think
keep
ever
up.
did do it.
They can't guard the pick and roll.
No.
When J.J. Barea is ripping you apart, there's something wrong.
Who?
J.J. Barea.
Oh.
Juan Jose, is that it, I think? I think it's Juan
Paint a
Jose.
picture, he's about 5'9".
Yes.
Why don't you stand up? You're not. No one's gonna be able to see your head, but just
this is
picture. That's
there we go.
See
This
that?
is me. 5'9".
That's JJ.
This
Barea.
is JJ
This
Barea.
is me, the average guard in the NBA.
So yeah, Julia! Julia's here. Yes.
This show is just like
Oh
a
my
carnival
God,
of
this is
excitement.
fantastic. All right.
Anyway, it was frightening, and it became relevant when there's interviews going on, and players are saying that there's no trust on the team. Well, not players. Andrew Bynum said that there's no trust on the team,
Right.
which Kobe or Phil Jackson or anyone wouldn't say. And now everyone is leaving.
Our entire
Farewell.
production crew
The whole
is gone.
production crew is
Goodbye.
gone because Julia's here.
Goodbye.
Farewell, production crew.
Goodbye.
Next talk.
It's been fun. Bye-bye. And now we're
Fantastic.
back to our one in the studio.
There we're back.
Back to normal.
She is the best.
Obviously.
You would rather have her, wouldn't you?
She could do the work of 8 people that were here before, of
Please
course.
Take your classroom evaluations off the top.
Yeah. We're seeing what you're evaluating
I don't
right
want
now.
to see.
I thought they were about
No.
Well,
I
it's
don't-
just on the
I don't need
one.
to see who,
It's cool.
what class
We're
you're
not-
at. Anyway,
She successfully ducked that camera.
I
That
know.
was pretty
you
good.
could walk in front of it. No one's
Walk
gonna
in
care.
front. Say hi. No,
No.
something.
This is your last week on TV,
Yes.
It is. Yes.
4 minutes into the show.
and Julia made it for it.
Yes, she did.
Yes.
Hey, get back to
Yes.
sport.
Anyway,
Back. Awesome.
now that everyone watching is like, what's on?
What's going on?
We should have a camera like back. So
Yeah.
we could just go to camera 3, for example, and they could see the people.
Exactly.
We're
I
not
agree.
lying. We're not alone. People think they're doing the show alone. They are. Anyway, getting back. It was a reality check that I hope does a lot to the team. I think it was a reality check that they needed. Just the complacency that has developed in interviews. So your guys' backs are against the wall. Are you going to do anything different? No, we're just going to, we just got to win, but we'll be fine. You're down 3-0. Get some intensity.
Exactly.
So relaxed and complacent going into the series. Paul Gasol didn't show up at all in any of the games, and you could just see them starting to collapse. Game 3, Phil Jackson just yelling at Paul Gasol during timeouts. He never talks to his players like
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Ron Artest, going off, and then to top it all off at the end of the games, Odom just basically pushing Dirk Nowitzki out of the way, which was, I don't think it deserved an ejection. I think they just assumed that since they were down by so much, it was like, okay.
Yeah.
But the Bynum,
But just
Barea just comes on the lane for a layup, and Bynum just puts his arm out and pushes him down to the ground. He got
That's
ejected,
bad.
and walking off the court, he takes off his jersey a la LeBron James after he stopped playing with the Cavaliers. And it was just, where's the class?
Right.
Where's the
Right.
organization class when you put
Right.
on the uniform? The pride. It was bad.
It was
really bad.
Yeah, it was honestly embarrassing, and for those reasons exactly. They lost by 30 in the last game. The players didn't take it well. I mean, it wasn't even just in this game. You have Ron Artest doing something similar to JJ Barea in game 2. And he that wasn't the only thing. I mean, you expect it from Ron Artest, but I mean, he shoved the guy earlier in the game. This is just, it's not classy at all.
Everything just collapsed.
It was bad. I mean, the Lakers have been an up and down team all year, and they were just down, and they don't have that explosiveness to them.
There's no spark
That they-
anymore
yeah,
that they
exactly.
used to have. And they haven't had it for a little while. I mean, last year they did win the finals, but there were times where you just didn't feel the spark.
Right.
I mean, everything just kind of worked out for them. Paul Gasol went off last year, and it just happened to work out. They didn't really have to play anyone that tough. They kind of had an easy road except for the finals. But this year was just bad.
Yeah,
it was bad.
it was embarrassing. I'm honestly embarrassed to be a Laker fan right now. I can't say anything. I can't defend them. I can't say that they should have won. There's nothing I could say, and that's just embarrassing. I think they have a lot to do in this off season. They're not gonna just come back and just they are not prime for another title run right now. They cannot come back next year and just win. It's terrible. They need something. They need to get younger. They're getting old. Kobe's getting old.
Was he 36?
He's like 32.
32.
Something.
Sorry, I'm thinking baseball years. Usually when you start saying people are old in baseball, it's like 36.
Yeah,
he's 32.
He's like,
But
I think he's 32.
Miles.
Exactly. He's been playing since he's 18.
And
So
it's not so much that, it's so much that he's played through multiple injuries. He just didn't get them fixed and just kept playing. His finger will always have arthritis in it, his pointer finger, because he broke it and just kept playing, and they won the finals. Everything has been hurt.
yeah.
He's how long can you keep doing it? And we saw it in the series. He can no longer just take over a game. He can help. He can go on runs. He can get real hot and give you 12 points in a quarter. But you need somebody else to pick it up after that. He can't just do it. And I think Phil Jackson tried to keep him on the bench in the fourth and put him in later, like with 6 minutes left, so he would have that energy to go and hopefully do that. And it didn't really work. It was kind of too late, especially in game one, or it was either game one or game three, when they put the starters in with like 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, it was game one,
Like, what do you,
I think.
Yeah, what are you waiting for?
Yeah, it was bad. Bye, Nicolina. She's gone.
Yep. That's it.
Unbelievable.
Going to the gym.
Going to the gym. That's right.
Gym's more important than the
Apparently.
last John Joe sports show.
Apparently. Yeah. Whatever.
Anyway, some of the things the Lakers need to work on. The people that they got in the middle of the season, like the Steve Blake, he didn't do anything that they expected him to do. They expected him to be that quick point guard and that guy you could go to for threes. Nothing. And especially in this series, every time he touched the ball, it was like he panicked. What do I do? Should I shoot? Shoot.
Yep.
He'd be wide open, and he wouldn't shoot. And he would, and it was ugly to see. The Gasol-Bynum combo, I think, is in jeopardy. I don't know. Like, Bynum is a great player, but I think teams now are realizing the big men of the Lakers, and Paul Gasol can't do as much as he used to. He's more of an outside an outside post player. Like, I don't know what to do with this team. There's problems.
They need a spark. They need a type of guy. They need like Shannon Brown is really he's like their pickup guy. Like, they need someone like that.
Who can start?
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah.
Shannon Brown could start. They won't start him.
Yeah, he's
on any other team.
He's very explosive. And you need that just explosive guy. They don't have anybody who's just going to take it just like with no regard for human life on the way to the lane and just dunk over three people. They need I think they need that spark. They just don't have it. They need to get younger. Like I said, they need a point guard. They need. I don't know. I mean, they need to get better on defense. Like I said, they haven't been able to guard the pick and roll for like 10 years. Pau Gasol is soft. People know their weaknesses.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know why they didn't seem to exploit them as much, but I mean, the Lakers needed to play harder, and they just didn't. And now I think they need to make changes. There's no winning a title with this same team. Even like our tests, like
Our test, yeah, he didn't do
what
anything
is
this year.
like
Last
what is he
year,
doing?
He did some type of things, and it kind of got pushed under the rug just because they won the finals. It was like, oh, cool. But he wasn't incredible. I mean, he's a good defender. what's his name with the mohawk?
Matt Barnes.
Matt Barnes was out with an injury, and then he was back, but he had basically no effect during the playoffs.
Yeah.
The guys that they got that they thought would give the spark never did.
Yep.
So I think they have to relook at that. There's going to be a lot of talks about Chris Paul and Dwight Howard. Chris Paul, I don't think is a free agent yet. I think he's next year, but Dwight Howard is this year.
Okay.
It's one of them that aren't,
I got
but
you.
there will be. So people are going to start talking about if Dwight Howard's going to come to the Lakers or if Chris Paul is going to come to the Lakers. Chris Paul would be nice to have.
Chris Paul would be
'Cause
nice.
He is a guy that has
Either
a
of them would
spark
be nice.
and can guard anyone that plays point guard that
Exactly.
moves at a normal pace.
Yeah, I mean, especially if, I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen, but if they do get Chris Paul, they need to get some other young guys that could go with him.
Yeah.
Like,
Because he's going to be running up and down the floor,
Ex-
like turning around. Come
exactly, yeah.
on, offense.
Like, yeah, but I really do think they need that other player. Chris Paul would be best, but I would definitely like Dwight Howard as well. Obviously, you'd have to say goodbye to Andrew Bynum.
Yeah, I think
But I don't know. I think that he would provide that explosiveness, that down low presence
yeah.
as well. So
He's been healthy.
right,
Healthier. That's the
exactly.
thing about Bynum is he has not had a healthy year yet, I don't think. There's always something wrong. So a straight up deal for Bynum, for Howard and Bynum, go for it.
That would be beautiful.
That would be our gain, definitely. I mean, I'm sure they would want something else, obviously.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
I mean,
Get
just
J.J. Redick as well.
yeah, exactly. But just like tweaking one thing, it just makes the team better.
Yeah.
Like this is not these were they were back-to-back champions. Like they're not far off. I'm just saying that with this same team, they can't win a championship.
And I didn't think they would this year, but I was hopeful.
Yeah.
As for the Mavericks, you can't take anything away from them. Lakers definitely didn't just lose this series and the Mavericks happen to be the team they were playing. The Mavericks are playing very well. Their game plan for series has been the best I've seen in a long time. Exploited the Lakers' every weakness, spread them out on the floor, and just drove to the basket and knew exactly what to do. Dirk is playing amazing, and he's getting his other players to step up along with him. Jason Kidd, who's still in the league, playing great as a point guard, and then they bring in J.J. Barea, who's 3 times as fast as him.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you bring in a pitcher who throws 90 and then bring in a guy that throws 70. It's completely different for the other team. Jason Terry, for some reason, is still also in the league. He hits an open 3. So don't count out the Mavericks. I, again, am expecting their collapse, as happens every year. It's working for them what they have now. I'm just weary that they don't have that go-to guy that'll be reliable all the time. I hope that they don't just rely on Dirk, and if he's not doing it, who do you pass the ball to? I still don't view the Mavericks as a championship caliber team.
No, neither do I.
But
And this year,
they've
you
been
really
doing
don't know.
well.
Yeah.
But looking at the roster, I'm not like they got it easy. No problems.
Okay. Well. First of all, you keep putting down Jason Terry. This is a 6th Man of the Year winner. Like he's continuously 6th man.
Yeah.
I like Jason Terry. He hit 9 threes last game. Granted, the Lakers weren't guarding him,
Let's do this.
but he hit 9 threes. Like
Yeah, you can't take that away from him. But they were wide open threes.
I'm just saying
We could have been him.
The guy can shoot. He
can.
can shoot, and he has been an excellent 6th man for the Mavericks. So I disagree with you dumping on him.
Well, I don't think he's terrible, but I don't think he's as great as he thinks he is after he scores.
Well, right, okay.
He'll hit a 3. Oh! All right, dude. Calm down. 9 threes is great.
If I hit
8 of
9
them
threes,
were
I would be doing that.
uncontested. 8 of them were uncontested. If he hit them in Paul Gasol's face or Kobe's face, I would give it to him. But I watched the game. They would drive and dish it out to him. He would pause, like look into the crowd, spot his mother, sign an autograph, then shoot. All right, but anyone put a hand in his face. Come on.
I agree. No, that was That was horrible defense on the Lakers' part. But the guy still hit 9 threes. 9 threes. And if I hit 9 threes, I would be doing backflips all the way down the court.
I would love.
I don't know how to do them, but
You'd learn.
I would learn.
9
Yes,
threes.
I think based on the adrenaline, I would be able to complete backflips all the
Probably.
way down the court. So there's one. The Mavericks create matchup problems.
They do.
I completely agree there. First of all, how do you guard Dirk? That's the
love
question.
Dirk.
He's 7 feet tall and he can shoot. He has incredible shots. He fades away. That it's an impossible shot to block, and he nails it. That's just his shot. So, how do you guard Dirk? The Lakers didn't know how. I don't know. I don't know who would guard Dirk in these situations.
LeBron would guard Dirk.
LeBron could guard Dirk,
He would probably do decently well because he's tall and athletic.
and he could jump. Yeah.
He could jump.
So, I don't know. I mean, the Mavs, they're really looking good. Like you said, the game plan was excellent. They ripped the defending champions to shreds. So I really can't bet against them, at least in the Western Conference. Whoever comes out of the Grizzlies Thunder series, I can't go against the Mavs right now by how well they're playing.
We had 2 questions. Who's going to win tonight, Sharks or Red Wings? Sharks. The Red Wings are too old.
Sharks, because that's a much cooler nickname.
I know enough to know the Red Wings dynasty is done. I'd like to discuss the Flyers. They got bounced out of the playoffs because they play with no heart and their head coach ruined the career of the rookie goalie. Now, I frequent the bar on Friday nights and was subjected to several Flyers games during the playoffs and fans, and I just hated being there. But from what I gathered from everyone I've talked to and heard, the Flyers goalies are terrible. Apparently the head coach ruined the rookie goalie.
Apparently.
But they can't settle on a goalie. They keep changing them out. Change it up.
Change.
During the games, their goalies are horrid. You can't win a finals. You can't win a Stanley Cup. Let's be
Very
politically
good.
correct for them.
Very good. Very good.
Without a goalie. Look at all the teams that win the cup. Their goalie is always awesome. Martin Brodeur, anyone? Mark Richter, for all you Rangers fans out there from way back.
Patrick Waugh. Spelled Roy.
Yeah, figure that out.
Waugh. I think it's Waugh.
Lundqvist. There's a name for you.
The Beezer. Van Beesbrook.
Goldberg.
Goldberg.
Huh? You gotta have a goalie.
Julie the Cat.
Julie the Cat. I mean,
From Bangor, Maine.
don't go at them because they'll save everything. But yeah, the Flyers, I watched some of the games, and it's funny too because where I go, there's 2 TVs and they both have on the Flyers games. Like the NBA
That's
playoffs
terrible.
are going on and we have to watch 2 Flyers games. 1 is bad enough, but 2. The Flyers, they just seem to be in disarray this season, especially with the goalies. Like, calm yourself. And I don't know whether to blame the head coach or whether or not they showed up, but it was painful to watch. They're lucky they got swept just so it's over. And that's how it was with the Lakers losing.
Exactly.
End
You
it.
you could parallel that
Done.
to what the Lakers did.
They didn't show up, and let's go home because we're not going to play well enough.
That's right. That's right.
So there's that. But again, like we were saying, the Mavericks, they're doing extraordinarily well, but will it be enough to win the finals? I don't know. I think
know.
they could get to the finals, but will they win it all? Who knows?
I don't know.
Last series left is the Bulls and the Hawks. 2-2. Tied. The Bulls. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Server not found. Here we go. Let's climb aboard the fail ship. The Bulls have seemed shaky in this series at certain times. Again, for the Heat, you kind of wonder, or the Hawks, you kind of wonder if they're really that great, or I'd put them with like the Thunder and the Grizzlies. No one knows. You know, they won Game 4, 188, and you're like, okay, here they go. There they are. Because some games, Derrick Rose will just try and do absolutely everything, and he can't. And his shooting percentage will be terrible, and they'll just rely on him, and he can't do it all, and the team loses. Then there's games where he'll go off, and the whole team will go off, and they'll win. You'll be like, oh, there's the Bulls. And then what do you do?
I really don't like how the Bulls have been playing all playoffs, the entire playoffs. They're not, like, right there, 100 points by the Hawks. Like, they're a defensive team, and that's what got them the number 1 seed in the East. You can't be allowing 100 points and winning games. The Bulls don't have a high-powered offense. Their high-powered offense is Derrick Rose. That's it. And when he scores 32 points on 37 shots, that you can't have that. You're not going to win.
Very bad.
That's terrible.
Very bad.
That's a horrible percentage. Usually you judge it by, well, how I look at it is how many shots to points. I mean, it took you 37 shots to get 32 points. That's less than a point for every shot you take.
Not good.
Like that's not good at all, and you can't be having that. He's been doing that this entire 2011 playoffs. I mean, he had some great games early with the Pacers, but like not the greatest percentages throughout. So, and after him, who are you going to go to? I know that, I mean, Luol Deng is doing okay. Luol Deng is doing all right.
Stupid question.
But
Kyle Korver. Joakim Noah.
Noah's not an offensive threat.
He's the man.
Boozer is terrible.
He is.
He's terrible. He's always been terrible,
realize
except when he was
that.
with the Jazz.
That's true.
Yeah, I've always thought that.
I didn't think he was amazing.
I
I was actually surprised when he came out of Duke and like went to the NBA. And was kind of good.
I always thought he
he'd
was
fall
overrated.
like Mike Dunleavy, and no one would talk about him anymore because he's
I always thought Boozer was overrated.
Yeah.
And it's really showing now because he's done nothing for the Bulls.
He hasn't
Absolutely
showed up at all
nothing.
for them.
He's not playing offense. He's not playing defense. He might as I mean he's not helping. He's hurting the team.
And if you're the coach of the Bulls, what do you do? What do you tell your players? Play basketball. Like what are you doing?
Yeah.
And some people are comparing Derrick Rose to like how Allen Iverson was in like 2001.
Right.
It was his team. He had to do everything, and no one showed up for him, and they got destroyed in the finals. I forget by who.
Was it the Lakers?
It was.
Yes.
When they were good. Remember when they were good?
Remember they were good? I do.
Those are the glory days of that team. My goodness.
I know. They were so good.
Every player in their prime, pretty much.
Yeah.
And the players that weren't, that was when they had the young sparks to
That's
lead
true.
the veterans. Because Kobe and Shaq at one point were young sparks.
Shaq was in his prime. Kobe wasn't even in his prime
Kobe
yet.
wasn't even that good.
No, he was not that good. He was good.
Shocking. He was good.
He wasn't
he was
that
above
good.
average, but he
No.
wasn't like he is now.
He hit his prime after Shaq left.
That's
so
unfortunate.
actually, maybe the year before he left, he hit it. But
I wish
anyway,
Shaq never left the Lakers.
I know. I love Shaq.
But this series again, 2-2, anybody's series. You can't even say, well, the Bulls are gonna do. You don't even know if they're gonna go on a tear again, and you don't know whether the Hawks can keep this up because they only have a couple players. They have a great team. I think they have a better team chemistry. They're younger than the Bulls, and it just seems they gel more as a team because they don't have to rely on somebody to do everything because they don't have that big name.
That's what the Hawks have going for them. They have the team chemistry. They have the players that have been together for a while. And I know I say that week after week. Our repeat listeners are going crazy like, you say that every week. But luckily we only have like two. So we watched. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I mean, like I said, this team has been together. I mean, Joe Johnson's a great player, very underrated.
Jack Johnson is a great singer.
That's arguably.
I don't really like Jack Johnson. That's besides the point.
But yeah, I mean, this is a team that's definitely capable of beating the Bulls. But I don't know. I don't know why the Bulls. They're just not looking like the Bulls of the regular season. Like, I was kind of afraid of the Bulls during the regular season. You know, they handled the Heat like I don't know. They're not the same team, and I think it starts with defense. You shouldn't be giving up 100 points
agree.
when you're a team built on defense.
At this point, you look back and go, how did they beat the Heat? You know, how
Yeah,
how did
seriously.
they win 62 games? And unfortunately, right now it's looking like the two best teams left in the playoffs are the Celtics and the Heat. And they're playing each other, so whoever wins that looks like they're going to have an easy journey to the finals, and it looks like they shouldn't have any problems with whoever they play.
Right.
The way the Heat are playing now, it's going to be incredibly hard to stop them. And by them, I mean Dwayne Wade and LeBron James, because no one else on the Heat is doing anything. Is Chris Bosh even playing anymore? They might as well just sit him
He
down.
did well last game. He scored 20 plus, had double-digit rebounds,
Wow.
double-double.
All right, there he is. Who's going to stop them, though? You know, and it's unfortunate to say that the way all these teams are playing now, no one's impressive. No one is
not
really standing out as just dominant. Even the Mavericks, who swept the Lakers, that was an impressive sweep. But as an overall team, you're not like, oh, the Mavericks. You're like, oh, I hope they win because they've had such a tough hardships coming here.
I agree with that. I'll start with that point. I mean, the Maverick, like I said, the Lakers and Mavericks series should be going on right now. Even though they swept them, the Lakers had control of games 1 and 3, and then all of a sudden they just threw it away. Like, that's just very uncharacteristic. Even if you don't like the Lakers at all, you have to admit that wasn't the Lakers.
It was rare.
It was very rare that they just gave those games away. And so, like, the Mavericks didn't even play that well in those games. And like in game 2, I mean, the Mavericks didn't play that well. The Lakers just played worse.
They played very worse.
It was
That
bad.
was the thing.
It was bad.
After they lost the first two, it was like, well, look back. Mavericks didn't play that well, though. It's not like they played their best game and barely squeaked by.
Mm-hmm.
So you assume that the Lakers would come back and just play an average game and be able to win. No, didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not in denial.
I'm not either.
I'm stating the facts. That's all. I'm a realist.
Everything on John and
Realist.
Joe's Sports Show is fact.
Exactly. So, okay, what was the other part? Right. Okay. This playoff series, unlike any of the other. I mean, going into this, I thought, okay, the top seeds are going to win, and it's going to be easy. These teams are going to advance. It's a whole other season. It's completely different.
Yep.
Like these are the Grizzlies, the Hawks are going toe to toe with the Bulls. I mean, this unlike any other. I mean, the Heat aren't collapsing. They're beating a team that they lost to 3 times in the regular season. This is a whole different ball game. I think where the Heat are succeeding is that LeBron James doesn't have to do it all. And maybe that actually made him uncomfortable in Cleveland, especially in the playoffs.
I don't think he had enough time to develop into a veteran where he could handle that.
Right. Yeah.
For example, Kobe had Shaq when in his youth, and when Shaq left, he had enough time to kind of mature, and he won 2 championships by himself.
That's true.
You know, he changed his number. He was ready for it when it happened. LeBron got thrown onto a crap team because the draft puts you on a terrible team if you're
All
the
the
best
time.
player in the league.
All the
And he was expected to do everything, not only by the team, but by his city, because the city hasn't seen success since Major League, the movie.
Yes. Yep.
And it was fictional.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of burden on him, and I don't think he ever got out of that shadow that load, that like Atlas Man globe that he had to carry around with him.
Yeah.
I don't know how he poses for it.
That's
but, you
it's
know.
just this.
Yeah, wrong way.
There we
Okay.
go. Yeah.
So, now that he's with the Heat, he has people he can go to, and at least for him, I think the pressure is kind of off his back. But for fans, even if they win the championship, I will always get to say, couldn't do it on his own, could you?
That's
LeBron?
true. That's true.
He's going to have that
Yeah.
over his head. What would you prefer? Having a Charles Barkley type career where you're the only good player on your team and you try and you can never get over the hump? Or do you want to have the, I don't know, an example of a player that went to another team and became successful?
Neither do I.
I'm trying to think of the Lakers because they just went out and got everyone who was good back in the day and then won championships around them. Who? Alex Rodriguez.
A-Rod.
A-Rod.
There we go.
Couldn't do it in Seattle or with Texas. Definitely not with Texas.
With
Comes to
Texas.
the Yankees. Boom. That's true. I didn't think
Example.
about that.
I mean, you could even go with Shaq.
You could go
couldn't
with
do
Shaq.
it. Couldn't do it in Orlando.
Couldn't
Did it in
do
LA.
it in Orlando. Did it in LA, but he had Kobe.
True.
I mean, that argument's kind of difficult. And then the same could have been said for Wade now. He couldn't do it alone. He needed Shaq.
That's true. That's true. It's
So it's weird about the argument. The only one you could really say, you know, like Jordan basically did it on his own, but he had Scottie Pippen and he had other players. Even him, when he didn't have anybody in the 80s, the Bulls were terrible.
that's true.
But he
That is
was
true.
he was young, you know, he
Right.
was just young, athletic, ruthless, like Kobe was when he first came in the league. All players when they first come into the league are just gritty, like Blake Griffin type players that just dunk on you, but their fundamentals need a little bit of work. They're just athletes. They're just good.
Yeah.
They're athletic. So that'll be the argument if the Heat end up winning, and whenever they do, oh yeah, LeBron needed Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh to carry you to the championship because you couldn't do anything by yourself. I don't think I would want to have that over my head as an athlete.
That's true.
People questioning, or second guessing your championships.
That's true. That's true.
I would like to say
But-
I did it myself, like Kobe was able to do when they first won 2 years ago. Like, get at me.
That's
no
true.
Shaq.
That's true.
Uh,
I don't know. That's tough to say. I like LeBron has had nothing
He had nothing.
in Cleveland though, and you saw that this year.
so if he were to win,
I mean
that would've
that
been
would be
impressive.
awesome. I mean
he got them to the finals.
yeah, I'm not. I mean, early in his career, it was very impressive what he was able to
Because
do.
I did like him early in his career.
I did as well.
I mean, if
Actually,
he won
yeah,
the finals, that would have been pretty awesome.
that would have been awesome.
Wow.
But
But then I don't know what happened. He just woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and thinks he's the second coming.
right, yeah,
He's not.
he became to think he was the second coming.
He could win 10 championships with the Heat and Dwayne Wade, and it would still be like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, basically the point I was trying to make way back 15 minutes ago or so, the Heat aren't feeling pressure.
True.
They just don't look like they're feeling the pressure at all. They seem they're very loose. They're very, which is surprising. I don't know.
There was a lot of pressure put on them in the beginning of the season.
Right.
You could definitely tell they felt it. Especially when at one point they lost 5 straight games and everyone's red flags went up and flares were shot in the air. There was Boston massacres happening.
Exactly.
That's when you could tell they were feeling the pressure. But then down the stretch of the season, they just shut everybody up and just started winning. Long streaks of games and kind of came into the playoffs under the radar for whatever reason.
Yeah.
They're still kind of under the radar. And I think they love that. They're not under the spotlight. I don't know once they're under the spotlight in the finals if that's going to hurt them, but yeah, I don't think they have any pressure at all. Then you look at teams like the Lakers had the huge target on their back. The Bulls have a huge target on their back. The Spurs did. The Celtics now do. They're in trouble.
Yeah. Prediction. Now that you've seen what you've seen,
Oh yeah, we have to pick a finals
who's going to win?
I don't
Who's
have
going to
any.
win? You going to have any?
I have no idea. The cop out is to say the Heat are going to win the finals.
The Heat.
What's cop out? John Joe Sports Show cop out. The Heat.
I think the Heat are going to win. It was that gut feeling that happened after Game 1 against the Celtics, where I just saw that game and then something hit me and said, yo.
I hit you.
Yeah. It was you? You came to me?
I didn't think
Were you just like...
took that as a gut feeling. I punched
Oh,
you in
that
the
was a
stomach.
gut feeling. Yeah,
Took
you
my
hit
one
me.
drink and I was like, I just punched you in the stomach.
That was
I
it.
think that was going to be like your sign, but okay.
And I don't know. I just had a thought, and I just said, it's really going to suck when the Heat win the finals, and everything we've been saying all year is wrong.
Yeah,
I think they're going to
It
win.
wouldn't surprise me, and it's quite unfortunate.
They're looking really good right now. They're beating up on the defending Eastern Conference champions.
But a lot
I
of
don't know.
things can happen.
A lot can happen.
Dwayne Wade can get hurt,
Mm-hmm.
and LeBron would have to carry the team, and he might not be able to. Or somebody can get hurt. The NBA is a screwy thing.
It's true.
You could be up 3-0 and then win 4 straight. It's been done.
In baseball.
Then sweep the next team you play.
Yeah, in baseball.
Or the Heat just might get sick of playing so long into the summer, and they're like, we're in Miami, we're going to the beach, and just stop and don't even play the finals.
Possible.
That could happen too.
It's possible.
But yeah, I'll just cop out and say the Heat win. They're the best team right now, today, if we had to pick. Tuesday and or Wednesday, they're the best team.
I really think the Heat. And that's really it. I just think the Heat,
the way the cookie
for the same reasons, they're playing the best.
Who do I want to win? The Mavericks. I like to see the Mavericks win.
The
Or the
Bulls.
Thunder.
I want to see the Bulls win.
Or the Bulls. That's it.
Anybody but the Heat or Celtics at this point. And it looks like it's going to be anybody but the Heat now.
Yeah. So, that's that for the NBA. Hooray. We'll take a PSA break if the people in the control room have calmed down the screaming and yelling enough to hear that I think we should take a PSA break.
break, yeah.
So, 212-9877, area code 570 for all of you standing outside of the Heat Arena waiting for Game 5. Yeah. Text us anything that you'd like us to talk about, questions, problems, complaints, concerns, and we will address them. If not, you're listening to John and Joe Sports Show on 99.5 WSR Scranton and the Royal Television Network. We'll return after this.
Turn off all your electronics. It's the easiest way to conserve energy.
Please keep our campus clean.
Hey you! This doesn't belong in here. It belongs in there.
Welcome back to the John and Joe Sports Show, 99.5 WSR Scranton and the Royal Television Network. I'm John.
And I'm Joe.
We weren't told we were coming back, so we were doing our customary stand. And,
Think we should do the last half hour like this?
yeah,
All right.
I don't see a
Good.
problem with it.
No, neither do I. I could. Oh no, it's still on the screen. I was
What?
gonna text and people wouldn't know, but now they
Just
know.
hold your hands up higher.
You're right.
There you go.
Is this
Anyway,
awkward?
baseball, I guess. That's a sport.
Baseball. Yeah.
Well, we could talk about
Jeez.
Phil Jackson is retiring.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
You're
think,
right.
I think I'm not going to sit down just for that. In fact, how's that? Anyway, Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson is retiring. Apparently, after this season, he doesn't think he'll come back.
That's it.
He's said this
All right.
before, and he's retired before.
All right.
Is he going to be back?
No, he's done.
Forever?
I don't know. He's done.
Is he going to,
We're hated.
hated?
I
Could
thought
you
it
tell
was.
us when we're returning next
I
time?
think it's funny that we were just kidding. Is this just a joke?
Yeah, I think it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I think this is funny. I think our
Everyone
viewers
can
would
still
enjoy
hear
this.
Us. It's
Yeah,
not like,
exactly. It's
we're
not like
done
we're
for.
off. Yeah.
I mean, they could turn on camera 3 and get me, right here.
It'd be
think.
fantastic. We should do this for next year. We could duck behind the couch and then just
Pop up.
pop up. Maybe even jump over
Wow.
the couch.
Or
Yeah.
like this?
Yes. Yes. I like that.
Awesome.
I think that's good.
Like, Phil Jackson's retired before, took a year off, came back to the same team he left.
I think he's done. I don't know. He's had health issues
Yeah, he's
and
getting
stuff.
there.
I don't know.
His knees, I think, are broken, or his hips, or
Yeah.
his thighs.
I mean, he started
They've got
yelling.
him hypnotized.
I mean, he's yelling at Pau. He's yelling at Pau Gasol. I don't know. I think he's done. I don't think he wants to anymore. He has the lead in titles now. He has 11 to Red Auerbach's
really pulling
9.
for his 4th three-peat.
Yeah, I know.
Would've
It's
been
true.
So awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how coaches just leave the game of basketball
Right.
unless they're really old. If I were a coach, I would coach until I'm really old.
Yeah.
How do you just stop coaching if you love it so much? And that's what usually happens. Coaches retire, and then they're like, I don't really like my family. And just going fishing, just going fishing every day.
Yes.
I want to come back and coach. Why did you leave in the first place?
Just taking the escalator down to. Oh God, that didn't work. All right. Good. Sorry.
You've broken the escalator.
I did.
Perhaps you
It
should
broke.
take the elevator instead.
See, the couch is too short.
too short.
I can't
I
duck
was
that
waiting for you
low.
to break something, like your leg, when you had to go down too low. I can't even attempt to do any of that.
I don't even know if you get your face in the shot.
No, if I were to do it, I'd do it behind there.
It's a better idea. Coming back. All right.
Well, that
Here
was
we go.
fun.
Yeah, it was a blast.
That was what you call ad-libbing.
That was good. I hope our viewers enjoy that.
I hope our listeners don't know at all what we did.
Probably not.
We weren't on the camera. Ha ha ha.
We're
tricky.
funny. Oh, man. Jeez. I hope people find this funny.
So Phil, yeah, me too. Why are they on? Not
What?
on? Click. People probably find our show extraordinarily long and annoying. We talked about the NBA for an hour and a half. No one cares about the NBA.
Probably not.
And if we're not funny, why should they even care to watch?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I agree.
That's
I agree.
sports. Now, if it was sports nuts,
Sports
that'd be
nuts.
a different story.
No,
But it's the John and Joe
that's
Sports
quite a show.
It's relaxed. We talk about sports. Text us your questions. We'll answer them.
I agree. We're we're running out of stuff. We're going to like baseball
No,
now.
we can talk about a ton of things
That's what I
for
mean.
hours, but they're only interesting to us.
Right.
Why
So-
do you all care about the NBA or our thoughts? They're correct and they're right, and you won't be led astray by our opinions. But turn us off now. Actually, forget it. Let's just go to black.
No, wait.
We're kidding. Come back. Okay. I think Phil Jackson will be back eventually down the road in some form, whether he tries to own a team or, does one of those like Joe Torre type deals where he works for the Major League Baseball now, or like John Elway owning the Denver Broncos pretty much. Something like that. I just don't know how you could just walk away for good. Because he's not like 90 years old.
I don't know. After that, I don't know. He left the Lakers after, it was just Kobe, and I don't know. This isn't the same situation, but this is a team that isn't quite built to win a championship right now. They need pieces, and I don't think he's ready to sit down and rebuild again. They can reload it, but they need other things that we discussed earlier in the show.
Yeah, I think
I don't know. I don't know if he wants to do it again.
I agree with you that it's getting to the rebuilding stage because, like you were saying, Kobe's not at the end of his rope, but he's definitely on the decline. So you're eventually going to have to start getting younger guys on your team that are going to be the next Kobe.
He's starting to trip. He's losing his grip, and he's in this thing alone. I really hope somebody got that. On second thought, I hope no one got that because they know that I listen to Avril Lavigne. Julia knows.
That
Yeah,
you
she
just
got
told
it.
everyone, they're frightened.
I know.
Now the viewers that didn't turn it off when we told them to are gone. Avril Lavigne, wow. Jersey Shore. Reruns they're probably watching.
They would
Syndicated
not turn
programming.
us off for the Jersey Shore.
We're a syndicated program, kind of.
Yeah.
This is on live, and
That's
we're going to be
true.
on again tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I like it.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Anyway, yes, they're going to need to start rebuilding, and yeah, I agree. I guess that would be the reason I would leave. Like, I don't have time for this. I got things.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to go home.
Where does he live? Like Colorado or Montana? Like, what do you do up there?
I don't.
Besides
No,
fish.
when he took those years off and they brought him in, he looked like the happiest guy. He was just like, I'm out here, I'm just enjoying life. They're like, when are you gonna come back? He's like, I don't know, maybe next year. Like, I don't know. It seemed like he had fun.
Yeah, he might.
I don't know. He might just
back.
enjoy it.
And he's one of
I
those
don't know.
Zen people, so he could probably just sit in a vegetative state for hours and enjoy himself completely.
I mean, but I could honestly see him coming back. I won't take that away, because last time he left the game, he didn't want to do it anymore. He didn't want to deal with Kobe, frankly. He wrote a book that he was like, Kobe's uncoachable, so he needed to get away from it. I can't do the show when you're doing that. I can't.
That's the most fun I've had in months.
I can't do it. Like, you try.
I could do this show like this for the next 2 hours because I'm going to say something and you're going to laugh and it's going to be completely ruined. You're trying hard not to right now. There's no way.
I hate you.
I did that once before where I died and you were struggling to fill.
I could. Yeah, I was just like.
It's beautiful.
Good,
I'm sorry to put you on the spot.
No, it's fine to go on the spot. Like, I could talk for 10 minutes, but for some reason, I need someone to be staring at me and like nodding, giving me reassurance other than this. Because I start talking, and then if I turn to you and you're like that, it's like, okay, I'll just keep talking to
What
the
do you
camera.
think our listeners are like, our reviewers? They've been like that for an hour and a half right now. They don't care about us.
Yeah, but I'm not looking. They're not in the
That's true,
studio
not
doing
any-
it.
The people that were in here were like that. Now they left.
I know. It's true.
There were 6 people
Sure.
in here, and they just ran off after an hour. Thank God. I'm sure they ran home to watch us or listen to us.
Yeah. I'm sure they're all listening right now.
That's the difficult part about coaching is you retire, and then you could do one or two things. Work for ESPN as an analyst, like everyone has done.
Everyone.
Or just go off into the sunset and hopefully sign autographs through the mail.
There you go.
Like Bobby Knight. A lot of talk about him. Is he coming back? It's hard to just leave something you love. And it's different for coaches because, like, players get too old to play. You're physically too old. You're done. You can't play anymore. Coaches, you can't get too old to coach. You can never be too old to coach. Oh, your voice is getting a little bit older. Sorry, we can't have you on our staff anymore. That spunk you used to have when you jump off the bench and fist pump, you haven't done that in years. Get out of here.
That's true.
That doesn't happen. And if anything, you get a little bit wiser as you get older by watching more and more and more and learning things. So it's hard for coaches to just stop. He is a very laid-back person, though, and it's not like he has anything left to achieve. What more do you need?
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to wait for the next superstar to come around? Jordan, Bryant, Kyrie Irving? Huh? No.
I can't wait to see his career suffer in the NBA. He's one of those players from Duke that I just will never like because they left early.
Yep.
That's
We're
it.
looking at you, Luol Deng.
Yeah, he shouldn't have left early.
No.
I agree. No, I like Luol Deng though.
At least Kyrie Irving was good. Was better, I think, than Luol Deng.
That's true.
still
Well,
don't
I
he
think,
should leave.
I think Kyrie Irving would have been much better had he
Yeah.
played especially had he played all season, obviously. But I don't know. I don't like. I mean, like Josh McRoberts going early. Like, I just don't like. It just seems like common sense to me. I don't know. Like, you shouldn't leave for the NBA. Like, you could tell these people aren't ready.
No.
And they just go.
It's very, very, very rare to find a player who can just go to the NBA either right out of high school or after a year of college.
I mean, you have those few. You have Durant, LeBron. You've got
Even
like
Kobe
players even
wasn't as ready as
Exactly.
he could have been. He could have used a couple years in college.
Exactly.
It took him a while to kind of develop into a better, more intelligent player. I honestly don't see why they don't make like a 2-year rule. Even Michael Jordan went to college for 2 years.
Yeah. Exactly.
Best player to ever play the game. There's nothing, and like you're getting coached by these great. It's not like you're going to crappy programs if you're a really good basketball player. You're going to be coached by great coaches who can just teach you. It's not going to hurt. The money is not going to go away. Even if you're Greg Oden, the man can't stand up, and he's making more money than either of us will ever see combined.
That's true.
He hasn't played in the NBA for God knows how long.
And get some sort of education.
Stop that.
I don't want to be that guy, but like, what are you gonna do when you get out of the NBA?
Sit.
Like,
Relax.
Yeah, you bring a high school diploma
Yeah.
to things. Like, get an education. I don't know. Get a few years under your belt. I don't know.
Learn.
Sorry,
So when you have
what,
children,
that's-
you could say, Dad, what's the answer to this? Sorry, son, I'm only a high school graduate. I have no idea what you're
I don't
talking
get
about.
it. If you have the opportunity, take it. Like, and you're getting a scholarship.
You're in college. College is
Like-
awesome. And especially if you're the best player on your team.
Yeah.
Like, you're telling me that you're not walking around campus and everyone knows who you are?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knew who Jerry McNamara was at Syracuse.
Yeah.
I mean, here everybody knows who he is, obviously, but even in Syracuse, they knew who he was. How awesome is that?
Yeah.
To just be that guy in class. Like,
Exactly.
holy God, is that so-and-so? Yeah. He's in my physics class. Granted, there's 3,000 other kids in it, but he's one of them.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Yeah, I think if you have the opportunity to go to college and you have a goal in which don't go to college just to go to college.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
if you have a goal, like these basketball players, play basketball. Boom, go to college. Get the experience. Get the tournament experience.
Yeah.
Develop.
You can't get that
You
anywhere
need
else.
to do that.
And it's a once-in-a-lifetime deal that I think it would be an amazing experience to have. To
People-
be in college, to be around people, to make incredible friends, to be coached by incredibly intelligent people, to just learn both academically and on the court, and to just experience 4 years where you're the best player on your team or one of the best on your team. How awesome is that? Because you're going to go to the NBA and be playing with superstars. You're not going to be the best player in the NBA right out of college. You could be the best player in college basketball. How awesome.
Yeah.
What an opportunity. And people just pass it up. They're one and dones.
Yeah. And the thing that is obviously you notice about college basketball and the NBA, college basketball players care. They care. There are people crying when they lose. Like, there is so much more emotion shown caring about winning or losing than in the NBA. You're not going to see in college basketball a LeBron James just kind of smiling walking off the court when they lose in the playoffs.
Have his jersey.
Yeah. Just like, I'm gone. I'm going to another team. Like, no, you're not going to see that. I was throwing his wristbands. I don't know. His headband. I'm sorry.
All right, cool.
So,
How many jerseys you wear for the game? 6. Throw them all out, you know? And I still score 30 with 6 jerseys
6
on.
jerseys. So yeah, I mean, that's all I'm saying. I don't know how we got on that rant, but
I like it.
yeah,
I enjoy this discussion.
that was good. Yeah, I don't see it. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and you pass like college basketball. The tournament itself is one of the biggest sporting events of the year. It's bigger than the NBA playoffs.
It's bigger than everything.
Yeah, like so. I don't understand why people pass it up. You get to go to college for free because you're on a scholarship, especially if you're that good. Just go, develop your skills, and get some sort of education. Take some classes. I don't know. Like, it just seems like they're just
really
wasting
obvious, but people
things.
hate it, and they hate. A lot of players despise that you have to go for a year of college. They would love to go to the NBA right out of high school. Why?
Like, yeah, I don't get it.
I think they should make it 2 years at least.
I agree. Oh, I agree.
I don't think 1 is nearly enough. 2 isn't enough, but if you're gonna make 1, make it 2.
Yeah, I agree.
And like people can easily make a career out of the NBA, even if you're an average player. If you're intelligent with your money, and you don't just blow it all.
Right.
Antoine Walker.
Exactly. Yes.
How's it feel to be working for us now? Antoine. Yeah. Tough guy, huh? If you're guys like Antoine and just gamble it all away, you'll get stuck working for college kids on a college radio show and TV production. You don't want that.
You don't
okay?
want that, no.
Be intelligent with your money. Because there's people that play in the NBA on the bench that are just bench players their entire career. And if they're intelligent with their money, they'll be fine. But guys like that, when you're done, what do? You can't just sit at home and be like, I'm so-and-so, and I played for this team.
Right.
Really? No, you didn't. I'm Adam Morrison, and I'm a bench warmer for the Lakers, wherever he is now.
Yeah, he's got the. I don't even know, actually.
Have something to fall back on.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be out of the NBA by, at most, 40. Basically.
Yeah, if you're absolutely lucky.
If you're real lucky
40.
and you don't get injured.
If you're really
and the
lucky.
team sticks with you and they're not like, wow. Juwan Howard is still in the league.
Yeah.
He has to be 65. He's the Satchel Paige of basketball players right now. He's still in the league. But, for example, 40 years old, then you have 40 more years of life. What do you do for 40 years? You need unless you have amazing hobbies or you were that good where you could go. There's only so many people that could be analysts and could have a hand in a team to own them or do something along the lines of that. Yeah. What happens to the other 80% of the population of players?
Right.
Like, at least in college sports, probably across the board, maybe like 5 to 10% make it to the NBA of all the players. The other 90% graduate and go out into the workplace and work and learn and do things and carry a career until they're 50 or 60 and then retire. You can't do that if you're just a one and done.
Exactly.
So what's your resume? I played for John Calipari. Are you John Wall? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that all you can do? Yeah, basically. I
That's
wear a
it.
sleeve on my arm, too. Oh, okay. Get out. You know? So that's that. That's my
it.
rant.
That was a good rant.
Go to college. We're in college right now. It's awesome.
It's great.
We're not on the team. We're not going to make the NBA,
That's true.
unfortunately, but... Lord.
I just need to see what time it was.
Yeah, Tony La Russa leaves the Cardinals indefinitely with shingles.
Shingles.
Shingles is one of the most hilarious ailments I think to ever say to someone, you know? What do you have? Shingles. Ooh. But it's not a good word in any sense. You know, did you ever... Yeah, I'm going to put shingles on my roof. They're like 100-pound bags. You have to climb, and it's hot out. Basically the same for the injury. Your back is just shingles. Not good.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah,
that's really
right there.
weird.
Shingles. Let's see. What's his name? Marlon Bird? Not Marlon. Bradley. Milton Bradley.
Milton Bradley.
I always get them mixed up. He got released by the Mariners. Perhaps he'll finally retire and get out of the league. Stop embarrassing yourself.
I agree. Yeah, right. Antoine Walker and Milton Bradley
Then they
here
just come to
in the
John and
studio.
Joe Sports Show. Can we be on here? Yeah.
Unbelievable.
We take them in with our clouded eyes. All at once. Sorry. Cashman says that Jeter is an above average shortstop.
Is that a story?
Yeah, that's right here. It says. This is what it says. I don't think anything has happened in baseball, so we're just not going to talk about it.
Tony La Russa has shingles.
Shingles.
Brian Cashman just noticed that
That's the lead
Jeter's an
story.
above average
And
shortstop.
Derek Jeter's an above average shortstop. Major League Baseball.
Wow.
Maybe we should have talked about hockey. There's probably something going on more exciting than shingles and the general manager of your baseball team saying, yes, our shortstop is indeed an above average player. That's because he hit 2 home runs the other day. If he hadn't done that, he wouldn't have been saying it.
Wow. That's terrible.
Tennis. That one guy has won 34 straight matches. He beat Nadal on clay,
Sure.
which happens once every blue moon.
That's true.
To use a saying. I don't remember his name, though.
I don't even,
If Mike were here, he would know. He likes tennis.
I don't even know.
Couldn't tell you anything about soccer, even though I watched 4 straight hours of the Soccer Network yesterday. Blew my mind at how many teams there are in Major League Soccer. I didn't know. I only watched the World Cup, and then I think that I know about the sport. But I don't know nothing about it.
I don't even know what else is happening.
Sports.
In sports,
The NFL is still boring.
Right.
The draft, and now there's going to be nothing for 2 months. Field hockey. Shout out to the used baseball team. Almost won the Landmark Conference. They lost to Catholic 14-9 yesterday. For whatever reason, once they started being able to grow facial hair, they won 12 straight games. Then they lost Friday, and it was like, uh-oh, they're done because they had to win 4 straight games. They won 3, then lost the 4th one.
Yep.
We're not talking about softball.
Softball team has this great player, Julia Cox. She had 57 home runs and 120 RBIs this season. And she pitched 18 games and won all of them. 0.00 ERA, 57,000 strikeouts. You can't even get that many.
They just gave them to her. Just
Incredible. Incredible season. Somehow they lost a few, though, here and there.
Well, they had to give them some losses.
Yeah, yeah.
Just to even it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is facts. There's no that we don't lie on the John and Joe Sports Show.
Anyway, final words. This is it. This is our last show of the semester.
it.
It's the year, at least on TV, until 3 months from now in September when we return as John and Joe Sports Show.
We'll wake them up when September begins. was terrible.
Hey,
That
I
was
know what you
terrible.
were doing there.
It's terrible.
He does. He's a very eclectic music listener.
Actually, not at
I
all.
know. That's fine. Nobody has
That's
to know
the
that.
funny part.
Anyway, it's been fun.
It
doing
has been
this
fun.
in the production room, TV studio. I'd like to thank our loud and annoying cast and crew in the back. Just kidding. And to the 6 of you that were here. Oh, there you go.
I'm no longer here.
Julia, thank you.
Julia, thank you.
Antoine and
Milton Bradley.
Bradley, thank you very much. Sorry that your life has taken such a bad turn.
Thank
And,
Corey as well.
Thank
Corey,
Corey
Stat
and
Boy,
Nicolina.
Nicolina.
And next year, expect better from us. We'll dress nice. Maybe it'll be like
No,
the
we won't.
John and Joe and somebody else show. I don't know. We might have more people on the show, funner things. That's not even a word.
No.
That's how exciting it's going to be. We'll bring out the horn again.
Oh, the horn's coming back. Definitely.
Be ready.
We'll draw on the
Stay
board.
awake. Be ready. You do not know the hour when the Lord is coming. That's it.
That was good. I have nothing to add.
No, that's about it. So next year, I shouldn't say next year. Come September, we'll be back. John and Joe Sports Show on 99.5 WSR Scranton with the Royal Television Network. Hopefully we'll do a better job than this year, but I hope you've enjoyed it thus far. Thanks for joining us. Have an amazing summer, and we'll see you tomorrow night.